Hey everybody, hey, welcome back to RC Mechanic. This is the off-season part 2. Alright, and with the off-season part 2, I'm just going to show you a little bit of what I'm planning on doing here coming up in the next year. Alright, something to look forward to in season 6. There'll be some projects I started and have not finished but plan to finish. And there's going to be some projects that need some upgrades. And there's going to be some trucks that I have not run for a really long time that need to be updated. And we'll just say that the parts are on the way. Alright, so here we are. I have them all stacked on top of each other. Let's start with the top. The top will be the Axial Wraith. This is my wife's truck. Last time she ran this, she ran through like a crap load of water. Like, well, you've seen the video on this one, right? If you haven't, take a look at it. It explains what happened to this. Okay. Basically, there was a smoke show, and it quit, and I was desperate to unplug the battery because I wasn't sure if it was going to start on fire or not. And that would be bad, especially with all the work I put into it, right? Alright, so there's going to be some changes happening. I'm going to figure out what went wrong with this truck, and we're going to fix that. And I do see some things like the steering linkage. This here should be on top, not on bottom, or this should be on the bottom, but either way. She likes to run into stuff, you know. Anyway, we did find a really cool crawling park. You're gonna see here first video of the season 6, and I can't wait to get this thing out on it because I think it's gonna do excellent. Okay, all right. So the next one would be the Vaterra Ascender. All right, one of my favorite trucks. Probably the favorite truck, but I have not run it for a really long time. There's some updates need to happen to this. The one on the bottom, would you believe it, but it's brand new and it has not ever been run. Reason why it's brand new and it has not ever been run is that I had a feeling that Vaterra was going away, so when they had this massive sale on them, I snatched her up. Okay, so we're gonna get this one going, and there's some upgrades that need to happen, and those parts are on the way, right? Last famous words. Parts are on the way. All right, now let me go ahead and move this up off of here because it really don't need to be sitting on everything. All right, so let's take a look at the Trail Finder 2. The Trail Finder 2, well, the foams are done. Let's pull this out. Okay, so this one as well has been through a lot of water and mud, and I will say that it has done an excellent job with that. However, I'm not really liking these wheels and tire combo. It has 1.55s on it, and to be honest with you, I guess if I was living in the 70s and 80s, this would look great, but I don't, and we're, what, 2023? So, this much rubber and this small of a rim, it's not working for me right now. It definitely conforms to the terrain, but as you can see, the foams are, well, they've gotten so wet that they're not going to come back. So, and this side's a good side. Let's take a look at the bad side. Alright, the bad side would be this side right here. Alright, so I'm going to put some 1.9s on here. Those tires are on the way. They won't be here until February. So right before I kick off the season 6, they'll show up. But don't worry, there'll be a video on that coming up. shortly after that, okay, on this truck. There's some things I would like to change. The color is great. I like the graphics on it, but I would like to tone it down a little bit. So probably gonna do some fine sanding and do some weathering on this thing. Yeah, it's proven itself, that's for sure. There's been some changes gone on with it. I'm not sure if you can see it, but if you look down inside there now, there's an actual interior. Okay. Reason why that is because I brought 3 trucks inside and decided to go ahead and detail them out. I'm still working on the last one, which should be pretty incredible all by itself. So, all right, so let's move on to the Dodge. If you haven't seen the video, go check it out. It was a lot of fun. It was actually at the end of the run on the trailer park in Texas that we found. It's actually I guess pretty popular in the area, White Oak, Texas. Some excellent rocks to climb on. This truck did really well, I think, considering the fact that, you know, it's got well, there's basically no approach angle here in the front, but in the back, as you can see, it just sticks out quite a bit, right? All right, so we're going to do a review on this bad boy. I can already tell there's some things that will need to be changed, like when we were running the video, this tie rod link right here, hanging down so low that it kept hitting on things. So I'm thinking about maybe flipping this. You can leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Extremely proud of this one. It is my most involved re-engineering of the RC truck right now. So and it turned out to be really good. I mean, I fixed my steering problem. I did have a steering problem. I fixed that. Okay. I had a problem with the transmission skipping. Fixed that. And what I mean by fixing that is that I went ahead and I put a SSD scale transmission in it. I suppose it won't hurt to really show you. You've all seen it before. Let me pull these pins. I'm not really a big fan of these pins either, but I really like this color scheme and I don't want to give it up. So, alright. So this is what it looks like after the fact. She ran it through a lot of water. That was push, you know, the bumper was pushing water. Alright. This servo is one of the cheap servos you can get off of Amazon. Not supposed to be waterproof. Okay, but it held up. Okay, and I can tell you one more thing that's not supposed to happen. I'm not supposed to leave this plugged in or in the truck. So if you leave your LiPo batteries in the truck, it's not recommended. Okay, there could be a short somewhere in here and you could end up with a fire. Alright, so the theme was actually she was cleaning it for me. That was the excuse, right? So she did a pretty good job. I mean, there's not much up in here, right? And the good thing with brushed motors, as long as you're running in fairly clean water, they're fine. My question is whether how much water got in here or got in here. As you can see, there's a big old mud clod right there, or back there. Alright, so when I did go and put this thing together, I did I don't know if you can see it, but right about there, there's a screw hole, and I put grub screws in there with Loctite. to seal those up. So when we go do the review on this truck, I'm going to go ahead and pull them apart and see how much water is still in there. Okay, this truck has been really awesome. It's a clone of an SCX10. They don't make the SCX10 anymore, but it has held up really well. Aside from the steering issue and the transmission issue, which I found a missing gear or two on, these drive shafts right here, holding up excellent. All right, and these came with the truck. As far as the front axles go, I have not broken one yet. But you know, we'll see. Time will tell. All right, I'm gonna throw this on. I just want to go over this last one. This last one is something I've been working on for a while, off and on. And what this is a this is one of them Jeep bodies you can get off Amazon or eBay, fairly cheap. This is a 2-door, so wheelbase is a challenge, right? I bought a Ultimate Skeleton 2 chassis kit from GCM Racing, and it's supposed to be made for this truck. So let's go ahead and take it off. Alright, so what do I have going on here? What I have is a drive shaft that I've been trying to build myself right here. I did buy a link for Jalande that's coming to replace this, but now I'm thinking that it's not going to fit because it may be too short. I may end up still building this drive shaft. And what what I did here is I worked on this and I forgot what I was doing. So I mocked up a drive shaft for this, right? And this is a generic drive shaft. It was extremely cheap. I thought it would be a great deal, but let me take a look here. How far did I get on it? Well, yeah, that's spinning on that, so that's not very good. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and tack weld it here and on the other side, and then see how that holds up, because of the way the angle here, it's gonna need well, it doesn't need to go in and out really, it just needs to have that angle. So if I take my wire feed and I just give it a tack right there and on the other side, maybe while it's in the truck, right? I'll take this spur gear off because it's plastic. Maybe I can get it lined up just right. Alright, so as far as the front drive shaft and the rear drive shaft goes, I have something new for that. I don't want to use these. I'd rather hack these up in case I screwed this one up to fix it. Alright, so this thing is almost done really. The only thing left is I need to put some oil in these shocks up here, because when it gets down to about there, just a little bit past there, you'll see it. It stays there. So if I had some oil in them shocks with some dampening, maybe it wouldn't drop down so far, because I don't want to drop the suspension anymore. I don't want to shorten these up anymore. Not really, not if I don't have to, but if I put some oil in here, maybe it'll change the whole game. Oh no, leave a comment below if you worked with cantilever suspension before. If you have, let me know what you did, how you fixed it, and we'll go from there, right? Alright, so We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trucks. 5 trucks right here that we're working on. I already have several videos made, but this is a lineup right here coming up for the next year. If this the kind of thing you'd like to see, make sure to leave a comment and you know, let me know what you think.